Okay guys, I am back and we are working on finishing up this beautiful little custom order that we were working on a couple weeks ago. The smoke in the air has kind of finally cleared, so I took it out of all of its protective coating. And then I have a stack, of ephemera, either from the kit or just like some other spare things that are there that doesn't really fit inside the journal. But I also want to make sure that Karen has it if she would like it. And again, I still don't have all of my stuff loaded in the craft room, so we're going to kind of makeshift. So I have a, let's see, what is that? Like 11 and 5/8 folder by, well, the tallest point here is 9.5. So just a standard one here. And we're going to make an ephemera folio with this. Sorry, I was thinking and not relaying. Like my brain was a little off here. So I am going to go ahead and score it at my 6.5 inch mark here. Sorry, off a little bit, because since I don't have my bigger cutter, I want to make sure that when I'm cutting with this little thing that I'm getting close to what I want it to be before I cut it any other way. Okay. Nip. No, I don't need to nip the end. Okay. So that was 6.5. Now I want to go, I think, let's see, here's my prototype. Let's see how much I ended up taking off of there. So about 7.5. So we'll go ahead and take it at 7.5. So I'm just going to put a little score in there so I know where to cut it. Okay. All right. So then I'm going to score it at 6. So basically a 1/2 inch on each side. So I'm going to score it at 6, and I'm going to score it at 1/2 inch. Just kind of, okay. I'm going to open it up. Kind of bring it in just a little bit to kind of get the edges kind of going here. And then I am going to take, let's see, do I want that side? Yeah, we'll do that side up because that'll be reinforced. So that side up, we're going to take, yeah, okay. Sorry, my brain went a little funky there for a second. So what we're going to do is right here at this score line here, I'm going to go ahead and go up in this direction right to that middle piece, and then I'm going to cut the back straight up that score mark, okay? Or as close to straight as I can get, and we can trim down later if we need to. I'm not quite on it, so I don't have it right in front of my eyes. So I'm going to flip it over, and again, I'm going to go in that middle mark, and then I'm going to go ahead and take up that score mark like so. Okay, then I'm going to get rid of these 2 pieces, so then we're left with this. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and score this all the way down this time. And then, because we're going to need to take off some of the top. But this is going to kind of determine how much we take off. Like, kind of just see, probably about there. I'm going to cut that off. It's kind of eyeballing it to what you like. But if you need an exact measurement, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off at, give me a second, I'll give you an actual measurement. So then that top flat piece is gonna be 5 5/8. So it's basically, we created what a lot of people call a library pocket, just on giant form, okay? So then we should, if we did it right, this should be 5.5 inches. Yep, 5.5 inches. Okay, so we're gonna set that aside for a second. I'm gonna take the part that we cut off, and then I'm just gonna take this right here off. And it's going to be a little bit tall. That's all right. Oh, no, not quite enough. Okay, so then I'm going to mark it. Oh, I don't have to mark it this time. My cutter is big enough. Okay, so then I'm going to cut this one. What did I say? 5.5 is what that one was at. Right. Yep. Okay. We said that one was at 5 5/8, so I'm just going to kind of look here. And basically what we're doing is just kind of making stacked pockets, if you will. Okay. So now we have 1 pocket, 2 pocket, and we're going to add a strip down here. And that'll have to come off of this one here. So we're gonna go ahead and cut this one again at 5.5. Okay, and let's see, what was this one at? It's 4, so maybe we'll do 2 inch. Look like that. Like I said, a lot of this is kind of eyeball, but I can give you, okay, well, maybe we'll do it at 2.5. Okay. Sounds good to me. Okay. And I'll give you actual measurements here in just a second. I bet you we could cut that down for the other side. Okay. Oh, nope, I don't want that one. Okay, so I'm trying to think best way. Okay, so your pocket itself is 5.5 when you get done, 5.5 by 7.5, and then we cut off a couple inches, and this is 5 5/8. This one is 5.5 by 4, and this one's 5.5 by 2.5. Okay, so these are your pockets so far for the front side, and then we're going to flip it over, and this time you do need another file folder, but you really can get, out of 3 file folders, you can get 2 of these. Okay, so I'm going to measure this at 5.5, kinda, till I have to snip it. This is pretty annoying. I'm gonna have to dig my cutter out. I'm hoping to have my room clean by like Wednesday. It should be like, I don't know, what is that, the 4th? Something like that. Because I'm gonna need all the space I can get for all the journals I plan to create. Okay, so this is 7.5 tall. So we really would like to go, let's see, what was this one? This one I came down just a little bit further. I don't think that one's 7. Yeah, it is. Okay, so 3, 1, 2, 3, 4.5. So let's do a 5-inch pocket. Okay, so this should be about right. Oh, I cut it the wrong direction. Did you guys see that? Oh, hey, but it works that way. Okay. Okay, so 5.5. And then let's do 5.5 by 5, right? Okay. And then let's do 3.5. Okay, and then we'll do whatever this one down here ends up being. We'll just snip off these ends here. And you could totally make this with 12 by 12 paper too. You would just have to like make two pieces together, like make a hinge. Okay, so now we have the bases, right? So there's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 pockets on this side, 4 on this side, and then I'll show you what we're gonna do with the other ones. So I know you guys know that have been with me for a little while know that I am bound and determined most of these times to use up everything that I've printed. So that is what we are going to do. We're going to use all of these extra papers I didn't use before. We're going to use them now in hopes of using up the rest of them. So I'm going to pick some that kind of match each other. Like these 3 right here will be perfect for this pocket here. Okay. So all I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take these pockets here and see, there's a printing mistake, so that's why I didn't use that one. But I can still use the other sides, if that makes any sense. Sorry. Okay, so right side up. And at this point, it doesn't really matter as long as you avoid the white on the, around the edges, which I will do my best to avoid those. So I know I'm moving pretty quickly, but I'm gonna try to get most of this done in half an hour. Okay. And if you're using directional paper like me, you're not going to be able to really, I don't think we'll be able to get more than a couple out of these. And with these, you can basically gussy them up as much as you want, or as little as you want. When you start putting your tags in, that's when you'll start getting like the different effects. Like I did bring along my little gift from, I believe it was Susie, made this for me a couple months ago. This was her ephemera folio, along with this pretty little journal. And I just got, I know she has a whole series on it. It's Susie's Craft Room, right? Pretty sure that's her channel name. I know her name is Susie, but I can't remember if it's Susie's Craft Room. I always get a little tripped up with that one. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut these 2 out really quick so I don't get confused on what side they go on, because that could actually really truly happen. And if you want to, you can totally decorate the, or like use your edge punch. That would probably look really pretty. So I think these are pretty much like pretty easy. I know I've seen some other people make like ephemera folios. Very similar, if not, you know, I usually don't ever claim to have designed anything specific, because chances are, you know, there's very few things that are still original, if you will. There we go. That's right side up. Okay. So then let's see if these will even fit on that. Nope, they don't. Okay. So we'll have to use this for a different something. Maybe we'll make those into tags. Okay. So let's do these pockets here. Just wondering if I changed the direction. No, I can't change the direction because it's directional paper. Five and a half, wait a minute. 5.5 width, so it has to go this way. Okay. Sorry, I'm having an argument with myself. It's late. I mean, with time change, it doesn't seem that late. I mean, it does seem late, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But it's not late via what the, needs to go this way. All right, I hope I did this right. If not, we'll just cut a new piece, right? It's only paper. Gracie's having friend trouble. Yeah, it seems like those teenage girls, right? They are just mean to each other sometimes, huh? Or like, I don't know if mean's necessarily the word. I can't get that on there. Darn it, huh? Anyways, I don't know that they're necessarily mean to each other, but they definitely, like, you know, perception's everything, right? Somebody might perceive what you're saying as wrong because they're having a bad day, or, you know. I know I don't have to school you guys on that. You already know. Or somebody's going through something and they don't feel like they can talk, and so instead of opening up, we tend to lash out. Well, and I think honestly, sometimes we as in like the collective human race sometimes put our trust into people who don't deserve it. I'm guilty of that for sure in my past, you know. So, well, and I guess too, it just feels like sometimes people in this world don't value loyalty and friendship anymore. I know a lot of you have felt that, especially the last few years. You guys have kind of talked with me about those kind of things before, and we just need a whole lot more kindness and patience, I think, in the world. I think the world could do with a little bit more of that. Okay, let's go ahead and do this one on this side. So sorry if I sound a little preachy. I don't mean to preach. I try never to preach, but I think we could all do with a dose of happy in our lives, I think. You certainly don't get happy by accepting less, I guess. You know? And you don't get more by not being kind, right? Did that come out right? The kinder you are, I believe, the more you win in life. And I think the world, especially now, needs a whole lot more kindness than it needs anything else. Boy, she is talking up a storm with her brother. Do you hear that? Like, you would never know that my kids, like, now, you would never know that those two used to just, like, tear each other apart. Like, it was bad. I'm like, are you guys ever gonna love each other? Like, not gonna lie. they scared me sometimes on whether they would actually ever really truly get along. I kind of like that. Do you see that? How it's like every other one with the line of the tree there. That's pretty cool. I kind of dig it. Okay, so we need to cover this one, and this part here. So let's see. What I did last time, I feel like it was kind of cheating, and it might have been. I just set those aside, kind of marked out where I thought it should go. And then I just kind of marked it with my finger. Well, yeah, kind of back to that topic about I hate to be humdrum about it, but I don't do bullies. Like, I don't put up with it. I don't tolerate it. And I'm not a turn the other cheek kind of person per se. Like, I'm not going to be mean to you, but I'm not going to let you get away with it either. Like, there's absolutely, like, I'm not mean to other people, so there's absolutely no reason to be mean, right? None. I don't let other people bully other people. I just don't. That's kind of what I've said too. I mean, nobody's actually, like, in a very long time, nobody's said anything that I thought was like bullying in comments. But if you do, and you notice your comments pinned, like, I'll tell you, like, if your comment's pinned, it doesn't necessarily mean it's about bullying, but like, yeah, I have pinned a comment for bullying, like, because, you know, nobody needs that kind of drama. And if you're gonna be mean, then, well, I guess the whole world's gonna know you're being mean, huh? Now, I do pin comments, like, when there's, like, seriously valuable information somebody shared, but I'll tell you that I've pinned your comment and why I've pinned it, you know? Like, I think what you are saying is really valid, and so I'm gonna pin it so others can see it, like it's the first comment you see. So that said, like, if your comment gets pinned, don't freak out. Just know that yeah, like I said, it's only happened once. Only had to do it once. And they learned quickly. Yeah, like I said, and I don't let it bother me either. Like, it's one of those, I am not for everybody. I have never pretended to be for everybody. Okay, that is too small, darn it. Isn't that an interesting scrap? I think all of these are going to be too small too. Darn it, darn it. We'll have to figure out something else cool to do with that. This might be closer. I doubt it, but yeah, too small. Can we get away with this with the other colors? Oh, we could. Because we need to do this and this, right? Because this other side is all done. So yeah, that's just the side we're worried about. Okay. All right, sorry I got distracted there. Well, and I think too, a lot of times, if you just ignore the negative that people are trying to bring to you, when they realize they can't get to you, they generally stop. I mean, I was a product of a whole lot of bullying in school. And it took me a lot of years to get to the point where my skin was tough enough that I didn't really have to worry about it anymore. So I certainly feel for those kids that are bullied relentlessly. I mean, I do. I mean, I was teased over just about anything. And, you know, looking back on it, I mean, you can't really, I mean, of course you can blame your bully, right? I mean, of course you can. But at some point, you do have to take a little bit of responsibility not that you were bullied, but a little bit of responsibility on how far you let it hurt you, right? Because we're all in control of how we perceive and how we take things, right? At some point, you know, we have to not let it bother us as much as, it's hard to say that, right? Because it does. Criticism always bothers us, or like meanness, right? But what we choose to do with it after it's been done, because you have like zero control over what other people are doing. The only person you have control over is you, right? Well, it took me a lot of years to get to the point where I don't own other people's issues anymore, right? Like, it's not mine to own. And it's not yours to own either, right? Just wish there were more resources for kids who are being bullied right now. Because I know a lot of people say, you know, oh, kids are not as tough as they used to be. And, you know, in part, you might be a little bit right. But that's kind of the point, right? It's really kind of the point, isn't it? Like, we don't want our kids bullied. We don't want them... Well, quite honestly, there was not that many nice people in my high school, right? Like, we're raising better humans, right? We're raising them to be kind and generous and warm. And we want that, right? As a society, we want more kindness. So I don't remember where I was going with that specific little thing, but... Oh, I know where. Kids really, actually, in my opinion, have it way worse than even I ever had it. Because their bad day follows them home in the form of cell phones and internet and group chats. Like, there literally is no longer any safe space for these kids at all. Right? At all. When we, Generation X, came home from school on a really bad day, we got to turn on the TV. We got to turn on all kinds of stuff, right? Like, we were not just, I think I'm going to take this down just a little bit because they're both popping out there a little bit. I don't think I got them as close as I could have. But their devices follow them into their bedrooms. They follow them into the living room. There is literally no mentally safe place for those kids to go anymore. So it does that whole, you know, you see memes or whatever if you're on social media about kids of today needing safe places. But they don't, those particular people, I mean, I don't disagree. I mean, I think there's some things that, I don't want to say soft, but I do think that in some areas, maybe, right? There's some softness there. Not that it's a bad thing. That's not what I'm saying, but I think that those that are saying those kind of things forget that when we went home, when we got off the bus or we walked in our front doors, the bullying stopped for the most part, unless, of course, you had a bad home life, right? But for the most part, it stopped. And when our parents got home, or if you had a stay-at-home parent, they would see how upset you were, and you got to vent on them, and you got hours of basically freedom from the meanness, right? Kind of helped you mentally prepare for the next day. Our kids today don't get that. It follows them into their bedroom. It follows them into pretty much every aspect of their life now via phones. Oh, sorry. Okay, so I glued the pocket together, the library pocket there. One thing that I didn't do that you could do, and I suggest doing, is clipping this end right here. I didn't, and it's not a problem right this second, but it could be later or on a different one. So I'm sorry. I'm so like on this little tangent here, but yeah, I don't know. I might not even air this just because I try really hard to be positive and not negative, but I just think that sometimes the kids of today get a bad rap. you know, as far as like needing those safe places, because again, they don't have it. There is not one aspect of their life that is private anymore that is safe for them to go to. There's just not. And so I often say some days I wish the internet would just implode. I mean, which obviously would not be great for me right now, right? Because I depend on the internet to talk to you guys. But yeah, having had a son who is at the very tail end of the millennial generation, I get it, you know, I get it. When they say they need safe places, they're not lying, and it's kind of not funny, right? It's kind of not a joke. I wish I had known then what I know now. Things would have been so much different for Bo. I would have made sure that he didn't, there was no internet, like no internet ability once he got home from school. Like, I mean, he's not totally innocent. I mean, he did his own fair share of stuff, but yeah, I would have kept a better eye on the internet access stuff, but you know, I didn't know. I mean, I know now, and I know what to safeguard Gracie against, right? It wasn't until probably a year ago that she got an Instagram account, and I just over the summer is when we went ahead and let her get a TikTok account. I mean, you don't know what you don't know until you know it. Well, now we know it. Now we know the kind of things that can happen on the internet. So safeguard your babies. That's all I can say, is safeguard those phones. Make sure that they're taking breaks away from social medias. You know, just keep in mind that when, you know, I mean, because now, I mean, I know you guys have all been victims of keyboard warriors, right? Well, our kids today are continual victims of keyboard warrioring. They don't get those, like, I guess we as adults, some of us get caught up in it. Not gonna lie, I have been caught up in it a time or two until I stop and I'm like, what the heck am I doing? Like, this doesn't even matter. Why am I spending hours defending this or that? And that one's a little off. That's all right. I don't know how I did that, but you guys probably saw it exactly when I did it. Huh. All right, so we're almost there. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, now that I talked through the whole thing and didn't even give you instructions, hopefully most of you can follow along with just visual. I'm going to put this one on. This is extra strips of vellum that I had left over from another project. And there's a reason why I'm using this, and I'll tell you in a minute. Anyways, so I guess my little PSA is just compassion. Have compassion for these kids. I mean, honestly, I'm a Generation Xer, right? And I'm sure some of you are, right? We didn't face these challenges that they're facing now. And since we didn't face those challenges with the internet and whatnot, just have a little bit of patience with these kids, please. So yes, they do need safe places. Not gonna lie, I don't subscribe to that whole joking thing about safe places, because having had a boy whom we almost lost to suicide over the whole internet thing, I will always advocate for safe places, right? Always and forever. Okay, now, gosh, I feel really bad that I soapboxed you guys the whole the whole however long we've been here. Like I said, this one might not even see the light of day. I'm not sure. I'm going to trim that down. Hoping that wasn't the actual pocket. No, that was the back. Okay, that's good. Okay, well, here we go. So now we have a large pocket in here, right? That's kind of it'll expand a little bit because we put in the library pocket, right? Okay, now why I put the vellum in there is I've got all these really cute little tiny ephemeras that will just get lost in there, but now they won't. Okay, so let's kind of fill this. And again, I feel so bad now that I've totally ranted to you guys, but a lot of you say you're with me because I'm kind of honest and real and just kind of say what I feel. So hopefully all of our new subscribers will kind of feel the same way your returning subscribers do, and they'll just hang with us and know that sometimes your girl here is pretty passionate about kids and their well-being. Okay, so I've got all these pockets too that come in the kit that I thought she might actually want to put in her own pockets as she starts to fill her journal. So I thought I would add these in. Is that going to be? Nope, she can still get those out. Okay, I think this one was too big for that, so I'll put that in there. And this, like I was saying earlier, this is the point where you really can just start gussying it up. Like you could add a bunch of like lace and ribbon type tags. I know you guys have seen other creators do those kind of things. So yeah, feel free to do those kind of things too. Like I said, I just kind of want to give her options. If she would like to add more pockets, then she's going to be able to do that fairly easy. Or if she finds that she has some pictures she wants to put in there but doesn't necessarily want to glue, she can totally do that. So we're just going to load this thing up for her. Okay, so that one, okay, that one should go there. This one should go here. Okay. Okay. And I know there is like a ton of other stuff in here. Okay, excuse my reach, my apologies. Yeah, we're gonna have to make some like scrap tags. Okay, here is a little envelope that I have not had time, or not time, but I haven't had anything to use there. I made this little sack that doesn't seem to kind of fit in just about anywhere, so I'm going to give that to her. I made this little one. I wonder if they realize that I'm shooting a video. All right, maybe that one will just have to go somewhere else for a minute. Okay. Here's some extra of these that she could do something with. Those were kind of the spare little card things that I didn't really have a spot for them. Here's some kit ephemera. A lot of kit ephemera. Wow, look at all that kit ephemera. Dlpf's kits are definitely worth every penny you spend on them, because they come with so much stuff. Like you can't, there's no way you could possibly probably use all of it in one journal. I mean, you might be able to, but yeah. Let's get that over here. Belly bands. Oh, yes, yes, yes. So I'm just going to kind of keep filling these. I had another stamp, didn't I? Put some of these little cards in this little vellum pocket. Little tiny stuff. I think will fit on the other side. They must not realize that their mom's filming a video, because I don't think that they would actually intentionally be this loud. Grace better get it together, because she's got to go to school in the morning. Holy moly. Like I said, I used a lot of kit ephemera. And look at how much there, like, more there is. Oh my God. Do you hear her? Holy moly. I don't know if I'm going to get all of this ephemera in here. We might end up having to use that other one I made, the prototype. Wow. Holy smokes. Oh my gosh, there's so much in this thing. Oh, poor Karen. She's gonna have to dig through this thing. See, probably, I don't know that she is gonna use it as a planner, so I probably won't put those in. Unless she sees this and is like, oh, no, I want them. Okay. All right, so this is gonna be it for this little thing. So you can get quite a bit of ephemera in these things. So I guess she's just going to get 2 things, because I could probably fill up a whole nother one here. Where did it go? And it's still, I'm still not going to get it all in, I bet. Okay, we'll cut those out. Okay, and on this one, I also did do the little thing here. Oh, I just dropped something. I'll have to figure out what that is in a minute. Yeah, I don't even know how long I've been at this. Okay, guys, this is like crazy, isn't it? This kit comes with literally a ton of tags. All right, let's go to this side. You guys bored yet? I would be totally bored right now. I don't know what I'm going to put in the big folder. Maybe these. Yeah. These big cards can go back there. Holy smokes. I didn't realize there was this much ephemera. I mean, I think I did, but I mean, like, I didn't, since it's been a couple weeks since I kind of touched this whole thing. I think I had just forgotten. Wow. Well, Karen, you definitely will not run out of journaling space. I can say that unequivocally. You will not run out of journaling space anytime soon. Oh man. All right, let's see if we can get these few pieces in this one again. Oh, did I do it? Only took 2 ephemera holders to do it, huh? All right, how about that? So now with the other scrap pieces, and when I say scrap, I just mean like what I've already taken off, we're gonna make some tags out of that. Did I get it all? All right, if I didn't get it all, you know what I could do? How about we toss these in here too? Because those are the cutoffs from those other stampings. I'll just stick those in there. Okay, so that will go in there. Might still use that. Okay, now I'm feeling like we're almost complete because I have 1 large journaling card to make and 2 tags. All right, so yeah, I think I'm gonna make those, and then I will be back for the flip through. Again, sorry guys about my little rant there about bullying and whatnot. So hope you don't leave me for it, but we will talk to you soon, and I hope you all are doing well, and I hope you're faring well through these like crazy times, and I will just talk to you in a few days. All right, bye guys.